I'm Mark Hayes.
And I'm Suchita Vadlamani. Straight ahead, we'll show you the tropical systems and how they're affecting us. And we'll have a live report from Panama City, where many Georgians are vacationing.
But first, here's a look at what's coming up on Good Day Atlanta this morning. It's a lesson for teachers and for parents. Award-winning educator Kafele has some tips for teaching. And we're getting an education in wildlife when the folks from SeaWorld stop by with some very special visitors. 7:39 is your time. Up next, new strategies for teaching and learning.
And a burglar who would rather steal burgers than jewels or money. That story is coming up.
Well, the start of the new school year brings about many challenges when it comes to achievement in the classroom. But there is a new book that seeks to aid in the progress of African-American students. It's called A Handbook for Teachers of African-American Children. Joining us this morning is the author, Kafele. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yeah, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank
you.
You
are a principal right now.
Yes.
In a suburb of New York City, New Jersey school system right now.
That's right.
Now, what is the makeup of that school district?
East Orange is 98% African-American, about 2% other.
Okay, so tell us, why is there a need in general for a handbook for teachers of African-American kids?
Well, first and foremost, when you study the achievement data of African-American children nationally or even on the state level, but nationally you find that 7% of African-American children at the 8th grade level achieved proficiency in 2003. 10% of African-American 4th graders achieve proficiency in mathematics. So there's a problem with achievement. I know that African-American children have the potential of achieving academic excellence, but teachers have to be equipped with the right strategies in order for children to be successful.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about some of that equipment. One of the teaching guidelines that you talk about is an African-centered instruction. Explain what you mean there and how it helps.
In other words, the curriculum and instruction must be relevant to the learner. If the learner doesn't feel that he or she can connect with what's being taught, if the learner cannot make the connection with the teacher, then learning doesn't occur. So my argument is that learning has to be relevant for the learner, and therefore learning will truly occur.
Okay, another good point that you make here is focus on raising self-esteem. That's across the board with any ethnicity.
That's right. In the African-American community, I find that children have to have a sense of purpose. All children have to have a sense of purpose, but children in the African-American school district, many that I've come across, don't have a clearly defined purpose for being there in the first place. So you can't necessarily expect achievement to occur if I don't know why I'm there. So by providing them with that sense of self-esteem through the African-centered learning and instruction, I'm giving them a sense of identity and who I am as an African-American, and therefore elevating my purpose and my sense of self-esteem.
Right. Now, our viewers would say, well, that starts at home. But you've also written a book for parents.
That's right.
And how to prepare their kids to come to the classroom ready to learn. My dad was in education, as I was telling you, for many, many years. And oftentimes the challenge they found was that the kids would come to school unprepared and not ready to learn for various reasons, whether they be emotional or economic.
Right.
How do you deal with those situations?
I started my teaching career back in Brooklyn in 1988, and what I found was when parents want to be involved, there are many well-intentioned parents, but didn't know what it was that they needed to do to reinforce learning when the children get home. So we put together various strategies for parents to utilize in order to reinforce learning, get them involved in the educational process at the school, and therefore ensure that learning is taking place not only in the school, but at home as well.
Right. You also talk about little things like appearance for teachers and having the teachers dress in an appropriate professional manner. Why is that important? Because
teachers have to model proper behavior, proper conduct, have to model what students should be aspiring to. If a teacher comes to school dressed as a gym teacher, for example, a physical education teacher, then they're not modeling the professionalism that should be modeled for students in order to take learning seriously, take the teacher seriously, take school in general seriously. So I want the teacher to be a role model, a proper role model for students in order to ensure that we're reaching not just a portion of the child, but the total child. Okay. Now you talk about setting goals that will close the achievement gap. So now those goals have to be realistic. Do they not? That's right. They have to be attainable. We're looking at academic goals set each marking period. So each marking period, I want to see that students are setting goals on the building level as principal in each and every one of my classrooms. I have the students set goals for every subject area and develop a strategy, a plan of action as to how they're going to achieve them. So when I go into any given classroom, I see the goals that were set. So we want the parent to do the same thing at home. Sit down with the child, set goals for that marking period and develop a clearly defined strategy, plan of action for each subject area, and then hold the child accountable for achieving them.
All right. Accountability is a key phrase. Okay. Baruti, thank you so much for stopping by and talking with us this morning. We certainly appreciate it. And this guidebook can benefit both teachers and parents, so be sure to check it out. Baruti Kafele's books are available in bookstores and on Amazon.com.